Hi, my name is Tony Westbrook. I'm the founder of Synthetic Dreams. I'm here today to demonstrate a new product we just came out with called Emissary RT. Now, what is Emissary RT? It's a collection of ODBC drivers, and if you're not familiar with ODBC, it's been around a long time. It's a standard way of programs connecting to databases. It's cross-platform. It's very much used for connecting different kinds of programs, different kinds of applications into all various different kinds of databases. It's like a universal connector. Now, Emissary RT is a little different in the way it works. Instead of connecting to databases, it allows you to connect to lots of other kinds of information. So, for instance, it lets you connect to your files. It lets treat all your files on your hard drive as if they were database rows in a database, or lets you, if you're a network administrator, connect to records in your DHCP server or your DNS server, or lots of different things. So I'm going to demonstrate today. I'm going to go a little quickly. I don't want this video to be too long. If you have any questions or you missed anything, I'll put the link to our site at the end. You can just shoot me any questions, and I can answer those for you. So today I'm going to be demonstrating using Emissary RT files, the files version, to create image thumbnails. So I have a directory on my hard drive called pics, and in here I just have some random images. I'm going to be using Emissary RT to create thumbnails, 100 by 100 thumbnails for all these images. So the first thing, I have it installed already. I'm going to open up my ODBC administrator, and that's just normally in Control Panel Admin Tools. I have Emissary RT installed. I'm going to pick it, creating a new connection. I'm going to name it Test Connection. And there are lots of options here, lots of different things it can do. The ones I'm concerned about right now are, first, the most important one, you have to tell it what directory you want to look at. So I want to look at the pics directory that I'm going to be creating thumbnails in. The other one is I'm going to turn copy mode on. Normally, when you update a file in Emissary RT, it updates that file. So, for instance, if I change the file name, it's immediately going to change the name of the file on the hard disk. If it's read-only your system, it's going to change that file. In copy mode, it actually creates a copy of the file first and then updates that copy so the original is unaltered. That's important because we're making thumbnails. We want to keep the original image as is and just alter the thumbnail. So I'll click Save. Now I have that test connection in my list. I'll click OK. Now you can use any ODBC enabled app, but I'm going to use Microsoft Access today. It's a popular one, and it's easy to use. So I'm just going to create a blank database. I'm going to name it TestDB1. Now, just a heads up, this machine actually is running a little slow because of the recording software. So normally the software runs a lot faster. This isn't a good representation, but it still shows you how to get there and how to work with it. So in Access, you go to External Data, More, and then you tell it to connect to an ODBC database. Now, this is just a one-time thing in Access. So just to explain, Emissary RT is getting all this information in real time. It's not importing, it's not making a copy of the data. So we tell it, we want to link to the data in real time. We don't want a copy of the data. We're actually working with the actual files themselves. I'm going to tell Access to pick the connection I just made, that test connection. Now it's going to bring up the table list, and Emissary RT creates these tables to represent the different parts of the file, information-wise, metadata-wise. So the standard table contains all normal information that's common to all files: the file name, the path, the size, if it's read-only, if it's system, that kind of thing. Image table contains meta information about image files. So if it's a JPEG or GIF, that kind of thing, it's going to tell you its horizontal resolution, its vertical resolution, if it's got any comments in the files, etc. If it's an audio file, it's going to tell you if it's an MP3, if it's a WAV, what its bit rate is, if it's an 8-bit, 16-bit file, that kind of thing. So I'm going to click OK. Again, it normally goes a little faster than this, but the recording is slowing down my hard drive a bit. So this is a one-time thing. Once your database is set up, it now has these active links into Emissary RT. And just to kind of show you that, just real quickly, that this is a real-time link, I double-click it, and now all those files that are in that directory are now shown as rows in my table. And if let's say that in the actual file itself, keen.jpg, for instance, I'm going to add just a little 2 to the end. If back into Access, and I refresh. Now you can see the table now shows Keen2. This is a real-time link, and if I were to change it in this side, it would create a copy of the file with however I change it. But I'm not going to do that because I want to show you how to create thumbnails. I'll change that back. I'm going to close this. Okay, so in Access, the easiest way to do that is to create a query. So I'm going to create query design. Two tables I'm interested in are my standard and my image, and just like normal databases, you can manipulate them in the same way. I'm going to link them together by their ID. That's how it knows that they're related. And I'm going to take this step by step just so I can show you each step of the way what happens. So the first step is I'm going to create a second file that's a duplicate copy of the file but has -thumb as the file name. So I want to keep the same base of the file name, but I want to add -thumb to the end. So let's make this an update query. And we're going to update it to keep base at the start, but then add in -thumb. Okay. Then we're going to run it. It's going to do its thing. And I'm going to just kind of show you as it's running. And again, it's going a little slow right now, but as you can see, it has now a duplicate copy of each file, only the second copy has the word -thumb in the file name. It's added -thumb into there. Okay, so that's step one. Now you can do this as one step, but I just want to kind of show you each step of the way. So we've now made that file. Now for the next part, we want to alter it so it's a 100 by 100 thumbnail. So instead of doing file name, we're going to bring down horizontal resolution. We're going to bring down vertical resolution. And we only want to update ones that have word thumb in them. That's what we just did. Okay, and we want to update it to be 100 by 100. Right? So we're going to do run. Let's make sure this is all good. Run it. Yes. And oops, I closed that out. Let me go back in there for a second. And as you can see, I'll just kind of go in on one of these right here. So for instance, the Commander Keen one, here's the original file. I'm sorry about the sluggishness of my machine. The original file is that size. Now if we open up the thumbnail is just 100 by 100. The emissary RT real-time link updated that on the fly. And you know, that's just an example of obviously what you can do. You can do anything that you can do in a relational database. So if you want to, you know, sort by file name, by size, if you want to say, okay, show me all files that were created after this date that are at least 1,000 bytes big, that are read-only, that kind of thing. If you want to say, show me all images, you know, that are at least 500 by 500, you know, make thumbnails out of those, but don't make thumbnails out of those. You can basically do anything that a database can support, anything that SQL can support, you can do using emissary RT. Not only is it, I think, a really cool technology for a power user who needs to update their files or work with their files, you know, if you want to search out old files and delete them. Not only is it cool there, but it's also, I think, really helpful for network administrators working with DHCP and DNS, but also to incorporate into custom applications. If you're a programmer, I think this has some potential to speed up development in a number of areas that are related to file manipulation, things like that. And also if you're doing like a content management system, linking into files in real time and keeping a link like that. So lots of cool stuff, lots of information, lots of things to explore. So this is now available on our site, oursyntheticdreams.com. I'll put the link up at the end. And thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye.